Peace, my peoples. What's going on? It's your boy ADMONISH Music checking in with y'all. Today I want to talk about a song. I want to break down some lyrics on the song La La La. So La 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 was actually inspired by my wife. The hook was inspired by a classic 60s record. I know a lot of y'all listen to this gonna be like, then he old. La 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 means I love you. So the hook La 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 follows the melody of the flute that I played. So that's where the concept of the hook, that's how the melody of the hook came about when I played the flute. But some of the lyrics, well, actually the entire song is written and directed toward my wife and how the relationship that we have transitioned my life, basically. I was, you know, wilding out, young dude in the streets. I kind of lost my perspective when my pops passed away, and I kind of found my perspective through my wife and my kids. And this kind of song right here, I didn't per se name her in the song, and that's business reasons. What I mean by business reasons, the reason why I didn't mention the song was because of sync licensing. When I recorded the song and I wrote the song and then recorded it, I was like, you know what, it'd be better if I keep her name out, only because if the sync licensing company wants to use it, they would have to be trying to find a woman named Lorraine, or a character would have to be Lorraine. So I chose to not use a name to make it generic, but yet personal. It's personal, but yet generic. So if anybody wanted to pick it up for a movie, a series, an advertisement, it's relatable. However, details in it, as generic as they can be, but they're actually true factual details to the relationship. Something strange happens when you make a change. It's like the days blur and time ain't the same. You see the sunshine instead of the rain. You see the joy where there was agony and pain. That is basically when you finally find the thing that you're looking for, and you don't even know that you're looking for it. When you find it, time is different. My wife and I are about to celebrate our 30th anniversary, and we constantly say things like, where did the time go? Or it still feels like yesterday when we met. And that's exactly what that means. The days are blurred and time ain't the same, because time kind of goes slow and fast at the same time, because 30 years have passed, but yet every moment feels like an eternity, holding hands and walking and talking. So, blessed to be in that space where time isn't really relevant, but the fact of the emotions and the relationship and the two of us sharing life together, that's the most important part of what we're doing right there. Your world can crash and burn or grow beautifully. You walk right through the scrutiny and jubilee, no longer running errands as usually. Now you got a sudden urge to buy jewelry. So it's like, it's amazing how, like, the perspective for me in this phrase right here was, I was really going through a time in my life where I was losing myself. The streets, you can kind of say, were taking control of my mind and my every actions. I was less dealing with music and more just wanting to get money and not worrying about who I'm getting it with, how I'm getting it, why, there wasn't a why anymore. And it's amazing how your world can crash and burn, or a moment can allow your life to 180 and allow it to grow beautifully. You walk right through the scrutiny. So all the, like, wherever you at in your life, geographically or emotionally, all the scrutiny doesn't exist anymore, because you're just full of joy. And everything that you're experiencing in that relationship in that moment is joy. Next thing you know, you're running errands like you usually do, and you're buying jewelry saying, I'm ready to tie the knot. I'm ready to spend the rest of my life with this person. And that's how beautiful that can make life feel. That's a beautiful thing. Walks in the dark, snow sleds in the park. You listen to every word, holding hands when you walk. Every single touch holds a place in your heart. Now every single word ignites a spark. So my wife and I, we both like taking walks together. I'm not a jogger, I'm not big on jogging. As you know, the album's called Hit Therapy. So I couldn't be out there balling, working out. And my wife and I, we enjoy working out together because we push each other, we challenge each other, and yet we're there to be accountable for each other. If she's out of um, posture in her positioning of the workout, I'm there to correct her on that. As she does to me, you know what, you're not supposed to be. Your back is arched, or bend your knees. And so we there for each other. So our cardio is, instead of treadmill, we'd rather take a walk. We usually walk around the neighborhood where we live. Snow sleds in the park. My wife loves the snow. I love the snow. So we used to take our kids and our godchildren and our nephews and nieces when it was snow kind of heavy, anything over like 6, 7 inches. We used to take them to a park with sleds and we used to go sledding. So these are actual events that happen in our life that I'm explaining through this song. You listen to every word, holding hands when you walk. When we walk, I always hold my wife's hand. Like I love having her touch in my hand. You know what I'm saying? Like I touch. She's talking. I might put my hand on her back. I love touching my wife, and she's there, and I love touching her. But I love touching her to also let her know that I'm here. But I also just like being with. When we walk, we usually have long conversations about everything, life, music, what's going on, joy, happiness, stress. We let it all out when we walk. Like I said, every time I touch it, it holds a place in my heart because that's my heart. And not every time she talks, I'm attentive. So when we have conversations, I'm there. Just like I told y'all before, and baby, when my kids talk, I'm in their eyes. So my wife too, because how else am I gonna tell you I'm at attention in this conversation? Like I'm giving you my attention, my undivided attention. You're asking a question, I'm here. Okay, what is the question? And here the answer. So that's some of the main parts that I think stick out in the first verse. In the second verse, no matter my day or how I feel, you erase the stress or help me heal. It feels so whimsical, it's so surreal. These types of emotions are just so for real. That line right there, no matter what type of day I'm having, one thing my wife and I have learned in our relationship is not to bring the work day into home. And she's taught me that. And that means so much to me because how could I blame my family for what happened at work? That's an important line. So no matter the day I had, when I come home and I see you or I hear you, I see your text or I hear you and I walk in, it's whimsical, it's surreal. Like, you know what, whatever happened today, it feels like it just didn't happen. And this is what it is. You erase my stress and help me heal. When I see my wife at the end of my day or even the beginning of my day's beautiful because I get to wake up to her and I get to see her and I get to have her as a part of my day. And that's a blessing for me. It feels so whimsical, it's so surreal. These types of emotions are just so for real. So for real was important for me to put in that song because there was a group that Heavy D, God rest his soul, found a bunch of young men, brothers, called Soul For Real. And my emotions are for real. They're so for real. That was kind of like a double entendre, but giving my respect to the group, but also letting you know that the emotions I'm expressing in the song are so for real. They're not just for real. Well written, like scenes from a movie. Everything is conversational, never moody. We got years together and you still pursue me. You think of me constantly like you always knew me. This line is ill because my brother is he's into acting, he's in the film industry, so he acts and he writes. We talk a lot about the scenes in the movies that he's writing or a scene that he's acting in. So that's kind of like a shout out. Written well, like scenes from a movie, because we talk about how you can't act a scene out correctly unless it's written well. So very important, these next lines, because pay attention to what they say. Everything is conversational, never moody, regardless of the conversation that my wife and I are having. It's never moody. So I don't bring my work home and put my mood on her. That doesn't happen. When we speak, if it's something that we disagreeing on, it's a conversation, which is very rarely. My wife and I, we disagree on things, but a disagreement is like, yeah, you like, I'm not with that. It's never yelling, screaming, arguing. That doesn't help. That doesn't do anything. So everything is conversational, never moody. We got years together and you still pursue me. I love that even though we're together for almost 30 years, you know, if a family member or friend is like, hey, let's hang out this weekend. I love the fact that she's still like, you doing anything this weekend? Because we're going to chill. You know, like she wants to include me. I'm so appreciative. Even if it's her and her homegirls hanging out, who I love dearly because her best friends are my family. I'm still like, you know, I still love the fact that she wants to include me. Even if it's a girls, and I tell her, listen, it's a girls weekend. That's y'all. That's y'all week. That's y'all weekend. That's y'all day. That's y'all hour. That's y'all dinner. Like, I appreciate it, but I want y'all to enjoy yourself. But you still think of me constantly like you always knew me. And my wife will go wild and go do whatever she's doing, running errands, hanging out with her peoples. And when she come home, like she might have Reese's Pieces for me, or you know, she might have a coconut water for me. And that's just how, like, I do the same. You know, like I know the things that I might be in Walgreens or Rite Aid or some pharmacy, and I see something, you know, a lip balm that she uses. Oh, let me grab one of those. I think she's low on hers, or even if she's not, she got, you know, things like that. Like we owe 30 years, man, and we still think of each other. Like we always knew each other. You know, like those are I go get some cakes and I see it. Those are, let me get these and let me get them in this size too for her. These last two phrases really mean a lot to me. It's such a weird feeling when we're not together. It's like a cold winter day without a sweater. So close in distance it can't be measured. It's like Benjamin Gates when he found the treasure. If my wife is spending the day with her friends or her family or her sister, you know, they chilling, you know, like, or she's at work and I'm at work, it's weird that she's not there, and I love that feeling, and I'm grateful for that. That my partner, it feels weird that my partner is not there with me and what I'm doing. If I'm at an event, I would rather her come. She doesn't like big crowds, doesn't like cameras and the mic. I already know mic and the camera don't scare me, but don't make me nervous or nothing. But you know, that's not her thing, and I respect it. I would love to have her right next to me when I'm doing it, but it's not her thing, and I respect that. And she knows that that's my thing, and she respects it, and I love that. But it's still weird for her not to be there. It's like a cold winter day without a sweater. So when she's not there, it's like it just don't feel right. Like a cold winter day without a sweater. We're so close, the distance can't be measured like we're two peas in a pod. You know, that's my best friend. My wife is absolutely my best friend. We're so close, like I can't envision a conversation without having her in it or having her be a part of it. I don't know how to speak without speaking her name, or because I'm in such joy and such bliss that we're so close. We're just so close. It's like Benjamin Gates when he found his treasure, National Treasure, the movie, and Benjamin Gates, the character, when he finds him and his family are treasure hunters, and he finds the treasure and what he feels like. That's what it felt like when we got together, and that's what it feels like every single day. I feel like Benjamin Gates when he found the treasure. You're the only contract I sign for perpetuity. I'll be lost without you in my life, truthfully. I love touching your hands every opportunity. That's why it sounds like flutes and chords when you're with. Perpetuity means forever, right? And it's something people run away from. Especially, I'll raise my hand. I run away from it in contracts, except the contract with my wife, because I'm blessed to be in this relationship with my best friend and somebody that I admire, respect, and love dearly. And I'm ready to. I sign that contract for perpetuity with no issues, because I'll be lost without you in my life. Truthfully, that's how I feel. If you wasn't here, I wouldn't know. My wife wasn't here, I wouldn't know what's going on. You know, I'm always protective of her, but I'm also always, I call them love touches. Like I like touching, putting my hand on my wife and let her know, like, I'm here. You know, you good, I'm here, and I love you. You know, if I touch my wife's face, it's love touch. It's not a disrespectful touch. It's not a harmful touch. It's when I touch her hand, it's love. So, you know, I love touching her hands every opportunity. And every day we're together, when I wake up in the morning, it's like flutes and chords. It's like the melody of the song. And funny, that's a double entendre also, because the actual beat that I created for the song, before I wrote the song, the beat was called Flutes and Chords. That's the double entendre. So everybody, that song, yep, that's La La La. That's the hook. That's the concept of the song. And that's the story of the lyrics. Thank you for listening. Thank you for checking in. Peace and blessings. Love y'all.